Hi guys. You could probably tell it's a little dark outside because this video I'm filming at night. I had quite the adventure today. My laptop just... So I had to go on an adventure to go get a new computer, and so I couldn't film anything or edit anything or make anything for you guys because I had to go get a computer. But I was like, no, I have to make them a video today. And especially because today we're learning about, well, I've taught you guys about Frida, but today we're going to do a project based on Frida. And Frida used to wear flower crowns in her hair, or flowers in her hair, and I have my flower crowns, but they're at school and we can't go to school, so I settled for this. But I have my Frida necklace here. But anyways, hi guys. We will be doing a project inspired by Miss Frida Kahlo. Alright, so here is our girl Frida. Frida Kahlo, she was a Mexican painter. She painted over 140 some pieces, and a lot of them were self-portraits, which is a painting of you. Not necessarily a painting, it could be a photograph, it could be a drawing, but it is of you. A portrait would be somebody else. So she was inspired by her life, her pain, herself, and also the worlds around her, like popular Mexican stories and the Aztecs and philosophies and medical images. Kind of like Basquiat. Remember how he was inspired by medical images? Because when Frida was very little, she had polio. She grew up kind of always getting sick. And when she was a teenager, she got into a terrible bus accident that really messed up her back. And she was in a lot of pain. And so she started to paint while she was in bed. She would paint her cast. So like she had a cast around like this. You know when you break your arm and you might get a cast? She had one all around her back and her belly. And so she would paint those. And these are a couple of examples of her artwork. Like I said, she would paint herself. And this one is, she's actually, because of all the pain and all the surgery she had to have and all the medicine she had to take, she was always, she thought about death a lot, which I know sounds spooky. And it was because she was in so much pain. And so she would draw and paint herself very realistically, but in these different and weird environments. Like we talked about Dali, Salvador Dali, and his surrealism. When people would call her a surrealist, and she said, no, I'm not a surrealist because I don't paint my dreams or my nightmares. I paint my own reality. So to her, this is what was actually happening to her. Like this right here is a fruit still life. And this one is roots, raíces. Raíces means roots in Spanish. And this is her laying in like a desert scene, and roots are coming out of her body. And so we are going to be inspired today by her work, and we're going to create a self-portrait. And in our self-portrait, we're going to focus on drawing more realistic. Because her artwork was had a lot of realism, we want ours to be realistic as well. And when we are going to draw realistic, we have the different parts of our face, because our face isn't flat. We want to show that it has form, that it curves. And so our eyes are not going to be cartoony. You're going to really take a look at your eyes and look at the parts of your eye, like your pupil and your iris. And there's a little highlight right there in the eye where the light is touching your eye. Your eyebrows, like your hair, are made up of single strands, not just one thick line like that, even though I know Frida had thick eyebrows, but they were still made up of tons of little hairs. You can draw the line really light and then fill it in with the hairs. Same with your nose. Follow the shape of your nose, trace your nose. Maybe you can look in a mirror before you start drawing yourself, or sit by a mirror. And our hairline, that's the other important part, because if you look at Frida, you see how her head curves. Her hair does not start right across her face like this. It curves on the head just like your hair also curves. And see, even her hair is made up of different strands of yarn, single strands. And ooh, look. And if we look, trying to zoom out super close, her eyebrows are also single threads. And we're looking at hairline here. You're going to look at the texture of your hair. If your hair is wavy, you're going to make wavy lines. If your hair is curly, curves. And see, here's like short curly hair. Here are some braids. So you would still do each braid. And here's some short hair and long hair. But really study your face. I know that in the classroom we always use the mirrors to draw ourselves, but we might not have that at home. So like I said, look in, take a look in the mirror before you start drawing. You know, go to the bathroom, check yourself out, and trace your nose, look at your eyes, and then begin drawing. So I've already beautiful oopsed this by starting with my nose instead of drawing the shape of my face first. So you don't do what I do better than I do. But with also your portrait, you want to think about an environment. So some weird environment, where could you be? I'm going to make myself in outer space. And I was trying to paint some leaves in my eye, but we'll see how it happens. But again, a weird magical world, and make yourself look realistic but also surreal. When you finish, please take a photo and upload to Class Dojo or tag me on Twitter and Instagram. And don't forget about the art contest going on the Aldine webpage. Happy art making!